Caroline, my wife, had a reoccurrence of a melanoma, and when it was diagnosed, we were visited by the community nurse specialist, and she seemed to be the sort of the coordinator of all things to do with the medical treatment of Caroline, really. And we had our appointments at the BRI. Jane kept on top of what was happening there, and also kept in touch with the doctor and also the district nurses. So Jane would visit Caroline once a week, once a fortnight, depending on how she was. And then obviously as time went by, those visits became more and more frequent. In the end, it was once a day. But the fact that we had someone to talk to, I had someone to talk to, and Caroline, had the reassurance of someone visiting her who she knew and became to know quite closely, was reassuring for all of us, really. And then in Caroline's final day, she came to the hospice, and I have to say the treatment that she received then was incredible, absolutely incredible. It was so personable, it was just so caring, and I've still got the pictures in my mind about how loving and caring those people were in caring for Caroline. Caroline couldn't respond in any way, really. And yet the nurses were talking to her as though she was, sat on a bus. It was just incredible. It was just so natural and so, just lived in my memory, really, about how caring they were. After Caroline died, I had the benefit of bereavement support, and this consisted of 6 group sessions with other people who've been through their own journeys over a 12-week period. It's good to hear other people's stories and what they've been through, and you think, well, you're actually not so alone as you might think. And I drew a lot of positives out of that experience. And, the hospice staff are very friendly, and you can draw upon their expertise, really. And I think that's something that you can not even imagine if you've not been through it, how valuable that expertise is, and that sort of slight hand guiding you to, through the next steps, and sort of helping you sort of deal with the issues. Obviously, when Caroline was in her last few months, I knew I had to learn to cook. I had to learn to use the washing machine, so there were 2 new skills that I didn't have. Caroline was a chef, so she would never let me in her kitchen. So Caroline actually taught me to cook. So that was key, really, and I knew I had to keep some sort of continuity going with the children. And at every opportunity we talk about Caroline, even now, we talk about, about her and about some of the funny things she said, or, the fact that she's still around us. And I think that brings a huge amount of strength to the children. They're not young children, but even so, they just lost their mother, one of the most important people in their lives. So it was just important to keep the continuity going. And then for my own therapy, I started a blog. I read that men are rudderless when they lose their spouse. So my blog's called Without a Paddle. It served 2 purposes. One was that my children would want to know what was for tea every night, so I put that on the blog, so they got a meal planner for the week. But the second one, the more serious one, really was actually helping me download my own thoughts and my own sort of outpouring. It was therapy for me, how I got through my own journey, and how I got through some of the dark days, and how I'm progressing on now. And so I'm just overwhelmed by by the interest, really. And when I say things where I need some help, like getting travel insurance for my son for when he goes on holiday, people send me links to travel insurance companies, and it's been quite a 2-way process. And if it can help someone else in a similar situation, that was what it was designed for.